Wait a sec, going to start the show. Quiet on the set. Hi, everybody. Recruiting Animal here on October 16th, 2024. We've got a special guest today. Tommy Pistachio Alascio. Is it how do you pronounce it? Alascio
like pistachio.
Like pistachio. That's not. I was talking about the accent on the first vowel, but that's not important. They know who I'm talking about. He is an expert in all things new. Okay. But we're going to start the show. And did you see that Richie? I'll tell you that we'll have a laugh about Richie Rich though, but he's not here. He was endorsing a tool called fullandrich.com.
It's just waterfall enrichment. All it is it's a tool that has that partnered with 8, 9, 10 different contact lookup tools, and it might work better. I don't know. It didn't see. It had like it. If you go to their website, it doesn't tell you all the tools that they use. It just gives you a little bit of them before you sign up. So,
Rich also had a little debate about whether it's good to use business emails in the daytime or personal. And he won that one. The people in the daytime check their business emails first.
I will send it to all of them, right? So the way that I do my mass email campaigns or whatever you want to call it is I will any email I get from the person, I will send it to them. I have it set up so it goes home first, office, alternate, right? Any email I get from the person, I just have it actually waterfall down until I get a hold of them. And the last two, I have 2 candidates that are in final interviews that I got from their work emails, and they said, "Hey, you sent it to my work and you send it to my home." And then we talked.
Yeah, and you should say, "Well, what's wrong with that? I had to make sure I get in touch with you quickly."
No, they weren't mad.
So you don't miss out on this great job that I'm working on.
And it's so funny. Both of these candidates, like this guy's got a master's degree with 5 years experience as an architect. He's making $60,000 living in Dallas.
Okay, you know what? You're moving out of your camera range, okay? Why do I have to instruct you who use this stuff all the time, okay? First, it's his mic.
I'm on my iPad because my camera's not working.
Well, you know what? Your iPad's pretty good. Okay. I'll ask you the same question, Donna. If you've got a personal email and a business email, do you choose one first, like Rich sends to the business email first? Or like Tom, you say, hey, I'll send them all at the same time?
Are you talking about to a candidate or business development?
Recruiting a candidate.
Candidates, I do personal first.
Why? Rich says people always check their business emails first during the day.
That's probably true, but I usually wait to contact them with anything with business until I have their go ahead. But Rich, and usually when people give me their email, they give me their personal one. So I haven't had a problem.
You found it. You haven't contacted them yet. Okay. So you're taking. Okay. Tommy, do you want to attack her? Do you want to rebut what she just said?
I don't, I'm okay with her, right? Like she said, like I get it. Like I get it. Right. It's,
hey, wait till Rich comes. I'm going to tell Dad on you, okay? You're going to be in
trouble. Whatever works for you,
Yeah.
Whatever works.
Hey, whatever gets you
whatever works. So
is all right.
Yeah, it's like whatever works, right? Yeah, I mean, like I won't not send it to work. I won't not send it to home. I don't know about you, Donna, but if you can't get a hold of them on the personal or the personal one kicks back, won't you send them to the work? I mean, I will.
Right.
Now, I do know there are other recruiters who will send very cryptic ones. If they won't mention stuff like I have an opening with a good client of mine, they'll be like, "Hey, are you open to discussing some project work or something?" Like they'll try to be cryptic about it. I don't do that. I don't give a shit.
Okay. Here's another related one. Would you call someone who listed on LinkedIn that she's happy with her job and does not want to be called, but it looks like she would be a great fit for your job?
Of course you call. Of course you do.
Oh, I didn't know you meant my job. The other jobs suck, but my job's great. That's why I called you.
No, really, I had an answer for this. There was a guy on the show a few years ago, many years ago, and he recruited this guy that no one else could get a reply from. He did personal research on him online. He found out that he had a blog, and the guy loved those super hot Cheetos. I think I told you, made this story before. And so he put the subject. He also liked super hot Cheetos. So he made the subject line super hot Cheetos. And he got a call. The guy replied, and he recruited that guy. So I'm wondering if you would think that you would need to use some gimmicky approach to this in order to get through to a person like that. Because there's a theory that everybody's always looking if you approach them with the right thing. Is that fair?
Well, I mean, I don't agree with your last that everybody's always looking, but I do agree that if you're going to go after someone who specifically says no recruiters call me, you have to think outside the box to get a hold of them, and that was a great idea. And there's a software called Chatterworks that Rich and I use that it's not fully developed yet, but they have a new part coming out, and their big thing is they'll track people, right? What they do on Twitter, what they do on Facebook, what they do on LinkedIn, what they do on WhatsApp, what they do on TikTok. And all their kind of like the same stuff that's used to put ads towards you and I, we can now use for recruiting. So, for example, let's say I always tweet about the Ravens every Monday, right, morning. So now I'll send a message to me at 9 a.m. Monday morning going, how about that Ravens win? By the way, I'm a headhunter. I got a great opportunity in engineering.
That Ravens win, that's pretty bland. But what you're saying is a good question.
I'm just giving you
let me talk now. I'll let you blab, okay?
I'm trying to give you an example how it works.
Okay. The idea is that this AI tool will research the target's social media imprint. But can you say come up with something funny or creative or
anything you want? I mean, that's up to you as the headhunter.
I don't know if the AI can be funny, could replace
no, that's you. No. It's you as a headhunter to recognize, okay, Donna is always on Pinterest at 4:00 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday talking about making cakes, right? That's her thing. She loves to make cakes and she loves to sing. So she's always on Pinterest Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and she's always on TikTok posting singing videos from her church singing on Fridays. That's the best time to get a hold of her is to message her on Pinterest Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at that time, or on TikTok at that time, because you know she is on there posting and talking to people. Okay. And then it's incumbent upon you to say, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to attract her?
Amy had a sideline at one time where she made these fantastic cakes. They were really impressive. So then if you found out that Donna liked baking cakes and talking about it online, you could take a picture of one of Amy's and send it to her or something. Can you beat this?
Yeah, there's so much you could do. Like, I don't know if
I don't think there's
fondant hate, right? Everybody hates fondant or they love fondant. What'd you say?
I think you'd have to be really good to get through to this person. Okay, but everybody agrees that you could
not. The hot Cheetos was good. That's what I'm talking about. He thought outside the box. All he did was see that the guy liked hot Cheetos and put hot Cheetos in the subject line. If I saw, and you just got like, if you put Ravens this week, well, if I know that you love the Ravens, why wouldn't I put Ravens in the subject line? I just think
it would have to be something a little more focused than.
Well, listen, this guy, I guess it sounds like he was hard to get a hold of, but the idea that you tell people you're not looking. I mean, this job that I have now, I wasn't looking. The last job I had, the last 3 jobs I've had, I wasn't looking. So
that's different. That's obviously different. Show us how smart you are. She said, "I'm not looking. I got a good job. Don't bug me." Okay.
She put it on her. She put it on her LinkedIn that she's not looking or whatever.
I mean, I don't know how many people literally write on their LinkedIn, "I'm not looking," but
occasionally they do.
Fine. Do it anyway. Call them anyway. But your point at the end was that everybody's looking if it's the right opportunity, and I'm saying I think that's true because I'm not looking now, right? I'm not looking.
No. Okay. Yeah. No. Thank you, Donna. You're agreeing with what the saying that I heard from someone else that I thought was very smart. But Donna, everybody, I'm going to defend Donna now. She can use the excuse that her head's a little shaken up from the hurricane. Okay.
Whatever.
If she goes off on a tangent or something like that this week.
Okay, what is that? There you go. The world's smallest violin.
Yeah. Okay.
Were you able to get out of your house yet? Did they get those trees moved?
Yeah. Everything's clear on our road. Well, relatively clear. Clear enough.
You know what? Please don't make me take the time to edit this stuff out. It's time consuming. Okay. Talk about the hurricane after the show. Okay. How early? I'm going to follow up on this. How early in the morning will you call a candidate? And I've got something to say, but you guys first.
I
You want to
usually
recruit
wait
somebody. You want to recruit somebody. You got a number. How
till-
early?
I
will you
usually
call
wait
them?
till 9 a.m. I've done maybe 8:30, but I usually wait
Yeah, I've
till
done
9.
8. I've done 8.
Okay, here's the theory. Okay, this one person says, I would never cold call a candidate until after 9 a.m., just like Donna, if I was using their cell number. They're getting ready for work, dealing with the kids, commuting, etc. Some people say that's the perfect time to get in touch with them while they're shaving before they're busy at work. Okay, that's a great time to call them. Does anybody agree with that dissenting view? No.
I think if you haven't been able to get a hold of somebody and you really want to talk to them, you could try it. But as a general practice, I wait.
Okay, once I forgot to call somebody, and then I realized I really had to speak to him. I called him at 11 o'clock at night, and he talked to me, no problem, right? I was surprised. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the thing is, like, you're always going to chance anything before 8 and anything after, say, 9. You're taking a chance, right? And you just kind of maybe go on the LinkedIn, looked at what he does. We'll go on his Facebook, see if he's posted on Facebook. This goes back to the Chatterworks thing. Like, that's the kind of information that allows you to, if you see that, because I'm always up till 1 o'clock in the morning. If you see I post on Reddit at 12 o'clock, go ahead and fucking call me. I'll answer your phone.
Mhm.
Right? But how are you going to know that? You're not going to know that, right? Just by looking at my LinkedIn profile.
Let me
But
ask
you
you,
would know
guys,
that.
do you seriously mean that you're up till 1 o'clock every morning? Yeah?
Yeah, I didn't go to bed till
referring
2. I didn't go to bed till 2:30 last night.
Okay, and what time did you wake up?
8.
Okay, 8 o'clock. That's a bit late for lots of working people. They get up at 6, so they do go to bed around 10.
I've never been
right?
up at 6. Well, no, that's not true. I have stayed up till 6 and then went to bed.
Okay, he was a bartender in his previous life, everybody.
That is actually pretty much part of it was that
That was 30 years ago.
It's hard to break that clock, bro. It's very hard to break that clock.
Okay, let me see. Okay, you know what? Here's one that really made me angry. And Donna, I'm glad that Donna's here. Okay, this guy was working a retained search. He is currently working it for it's a woman who's working it. A woman recruiter is working a search for a company. She said she's been working it for 3 months. She said, and during that time, the people involved at the client company have gone for vacations. So it's there's a lot of delays and things like that. The first candidate goes out to the first interview, comes back and says, "Hey, did you know the hiring manager, who would be my manager if I take this job? She's going on maternity leave at the end of the month." And the recruiter was outraged. I can't, at least let me know, tell me who the candidate's going to be reporting to if she takes the job. And the people in the comments said, "How dare you?" It was a regular Greta Thunberg. "How dare you? This maternity leave is her personal business." That's not the issue. She said, "It's just as if she had cancer. Would you expect her to tell you? That's her business." No, it isn't. And then there was another reply. Somebody else said, "Look, there's always people that you get hired. You never know who your manager is going to be. You're the manager who hired you might get fired or might go take another job or might die." Okay. So the identity of the manager is totally not an issue. I personally felt that the company was screwing her, the recruiter, and should have let her know. Anybody got a comment? For Donna first, I don't feel that's an invasion of the.
Oh no, you don't. It is an invasion as far as like you don't talk about other people's pregnancies and all of that. Like, so
I'm not going to tell you I'm pregnant. But I got to tell you, look, I'm going on an extended leave at the end of the month. Isn't that fair?
No, I mean, eventually the employee, is going to take the whatever paternity leave, paternal leave, but that's not for anyone else to talk about or discuss unless it's discussed by that person. I mean,
I can't believe it. Tommy, get in on this. Is on my side or hers?
It's illegal. But I had this conversation.
She's pregnant, and it's not for an employment job. It's for hiring somebody. It's not for getting a job for herself. Yeah, you can't. It's listen, Billy. I won't be here when you get hired for more than a couple of weeks, and then I'm going on, a year's or 6 months.
A year. Okay.
Why does that matter?
If it's the U.S., it's not going to be 6 months or a year anyway. Like if they're lucky, they'll get 16 weeks. So it's not like a forever
That's
thing.
only
Anyway.
4 months, Donna. That's nothing.
Is this
okay?
who and the guy's reporting to this woman?
The new hire, the candidate will be reporting to that person, okay? And she's not going to be there.
Well, I
And
don't
at
think.
least
Okay,
she
you don't have
told
to say
the
she's going to
candidate.
be out on maternity leave. You could just say she's going to be she's going to take in a sabbatical for 3
Exactly.
weeks.
Exactly. Just
Is
don't
that a
tell
problem,
people-
Donna? I mean, I would think that would be okay. I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, I guess as a candidate, wouldn't you want the candidate to know that the person they're reporting to isn't going to be there for 4 months?
Yeah, there's a lot of things to consider. I don't think we would have been hiring someone's direct report if they were like, we would have them reporting somewhere else. So there's
That's
other
a great
issues.
point. Yeah. Why was she even interviewing? They should have been a dual interviewing with me and her, and we're going to be reporting to both of us. But so and so is going to be out for 4 months, and then when she gets back, you're going to be reporting to her more than me, or something like that.
Okay. Somebody else said something similar to that. Look, you have to just trust that the company has a succession plan or replacement plan, and it's none of your business as a recruiter. I just couldn't swallow that. Okay.
They're being rude, but there's just a lot of things that companies are always
Being
going to be
rude. Being
careful.
rude. You
No.
can't do a search. I
am saying that people's comments and everything have a rude tone to them. They don't need to be rude. Stop arguing with me when I'm agreeing with you. But
you're
I'm
not
just
agreeing with me.
I am agreeing with you, but I'm giving you the point of view though from the company. There's a lot of things that you're not going to do and information you're not going to give. You're not going to risk any potential trouble. So you're going to be confidential.
Okay, I guess
That's just how it
everybody has
is.
already decided that I'm a terrible person. If anyone actually listens to this, wait a sec. And yeah, but the other argument is that it's somewhat credible is that you never know who's going to still be there. I warn people, don't take a job just because you like the manager. She might not be there. You never know what's going on in her life, right? It's happened many times. Someone takes a job, they love the manager. A month later, the manager's gone, and they don't like the new manager. Okay, so but I consider that to be an outside chance as well. Presumably, the person who hires you is going to be there for a little while. Is that fair?
Yeah. There's too much, not enough information. I need to know more information about the whole situation because as a recruiter, you would have known. I think you would have known the hiring manager would have told you, by the way, I'm going to be out. And then the company should say, well, hey, why are you interviewing if you're going to be gone in 4 days and this candidate's going to be reporting to you? I mean, there's just too many red flags and too many unanswered questions about that whole situation that doesn't make any sense.
This is Tommy, okay? This recruiter, okay, said she was permanently banned from LinkedIn for using Signal Hire. And Tom was totally shocked. Am I right about that, Tom?
If she was in the U.S. and she paid for a premium account, that is shocking.
Okay. And so your advice was to go to Fiverr or Reddit or Telegram, and people sell LinkedIn accounts. I never heard about this before.
Yeah, in fact, we just hired a VA today or yesterday, and I may buy her
for newbies, virtual assistant. Okay.
Yes, I hired a virtual assistant yesterday from Venezuela, who's very nice. And my guy on Discord just had messaged me and told me that he's got what does he have? He's got a 12-month LinkedIn Sales Navigator account for $200.
Okay, but you can't build your brand on that. You can't comment on people's stuff, or but you can do sourcing.
If you want to source, it is strictly for sourcing.
Okay,
interesting.
Yeah. And at $15 a month, right? John, what's 200 divided by 12?
Unbelievable.
18
Tom.
and change.
Yeah. Should I take that out of the show as well? It will.
It's not. I'm not selling them.
I mean, I guess LinkedIn knows
what they are.
Yeah.
There's also a girl. There's a girl in Dubai who sells them too. What they are is that for whatever reason they're associated with a company who's got a gigantic LinkedIn Sales Navigator account, like 1,000 seats, and they have some way to administer them something. So a lot of times I'll get them before I paid for mine. I got one, and there's a little button where you can share stuff to people who are on your team. I just clicked it by accident, and a whole drop-down box of people popped up that were on my team because of the way the association works. So it has something to do with how these guys, wherever these guys work.
Okay, you actually said on your note, I would never do it. Okay, so but
yeah, because it was a big pain in the ass. I did it the very first time, I
Uh-huh.
spent the entire month building up my database, and I mapped out because there's contacts and leads in or no, it's leads in something in Navigator. So I was building out the company side, and I was building out my org charts, and I had all my things set up. And then, like, I don't know, 30 days in, my account disappeared. So I get my guys like, oh, that was an accident. I'll get you right back up. And all that stuff was going. I go, what's going on? He goes, oh, well, it goes away every 90 days.
And she
I'm like,
didn't
well,
tell
fuck
you in
that.
advance.
Yeah, he didn't tell me in advance. I was really bummed. And that's when it was only $30 for 3 months. So it wasn't that
Okay.
big a deal.
I got to tell you, that's news to me, and it's pretty good news as well if you can find it. So, first of all, how did you find your VA in Venezuela? That's an interesting issue.
So, well, how do I find candidates?
Yeah, but this is in you said last week this is in Venezuela where they speak Spanish. Okay, how did
Yeah,
you?
so what I did was I went onto LinkedIn and I searched what I was looking for, right? I put in, virtual assistant, VA, all these words, and found a bunch of people who were either open to work or looked like they would be good. And I sent them all LinkedIn connection requests with a little message that said, hey, I'm a headhunter. Got an opportunity. We're looking for a VA to work 10 to 15 hours a week, $5 to $6 an hour. Would you be interested? And we got tons of people replied back, went on to Upwork. Upwork wasn't as good. It was a kind of a weird thing. And we ended up finding a really good one where we have her set up with Slack, and she's already started sourcing for Kelly Nelson.
What do you do on Slack?
It's how we communicate. Like, we set up, you can talk on Slack, you can send.
Oh, I thought
instant
that
messages.
it's Kelly part. She wasn't when I interviewed when she came to the show once. She wasn't part of your team. Does she work with you all the time?
No. We just are splitting the VA. That's all. And that's why we're using Slack, because if we were on the same, if we had
You're
like
paying her $5 an hour and you have to split it with somebody else.
Well, no, I split her in terms of I get her 5 to 6 hours a week. She gets her 5 to 10 hours a week.
Oh, and how did you know that $5 or $6 American is good at
The minimum wage, the minimum wage right now in Venezuela is $5 a month.
Wow.
We interviewed an attorney.
$5 a month? That's a slave.
We interviewed an attorney who wanted $6 an hour.
Wow.
Okay, I don't understand. They got internet. I mean, how can they pay for the internet on $5 a month?
It's a socialist country, so a lot of stuff is government given to them. But
Venezuela, yeah, I was thinking Colombia for some reason. Or yeah,
we looked at people in Paraguay, Nicaragua, El Salvador. All their minimum wages are under $300 a month.
And her English is fluent.
Actually, we interviewed a bunch. All their English was okay. This woman's English is awesome.
So you did what you did on the phone or on a visual video?
Just like this.
Okay, yeah. Donna, anything you'd like to say about that? I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. And I mean, at first when you hear $5 an hour, it sounds like they're getting ripped off, but really that's a huge, tremendous like windfall for them. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is what these people like. If you go on Upwork, you'll see anywhere people posted that they'll work for $3 to $4 an hour on Upwork, which means they lose 10% of it.
Okay, and on LinkedIn, okay, on this woman, had she ever worked for a recruiting agency before, or did you have to
No,
teach
but
her?
she had been a VA, and she had used Apollo. In fact, she even said, do you have the premium Apollo or this account? Like, she knew a lot about Apollo. She knew, and she has, I need help with my bookkeeping. She has a bookkeeping background, so yeah, she's going to work out great.
Wow. So if somebody wants somebody, they might. if I needed someone tomorrow, I would go to you and ask you if your girlfriend there.
It was funny. I always started thinking that maybe I should do what Chris Wessel does. He's got a line on a bunch of VAs in India.
Mm-hmm.
I wondered if I could set up a VA group in Venezuela because they have better soft skills than the people in India.
Yeah,
and they're on the same
sounds good
time
to me. Sounds good to me. Okay, now you guys, we all started late. Do you want to continue? I'm enjoying your company, to tell you the truth.
I forgot to take my Adderall this morning. I just set out all my interviews, so I'm fine.
Oh, hold on. Do you see? I had a posting about, or maybe I have it just coming up, a posting about Adderall, and it says the woman said she started as an adult taking Adderall for ADHD. She said it's like I had 1 million doors open and they all closed except one, and it was so wonderful. Is that your experience? Or do you have ADHD?
Oh, yes, severe ADHD, and that's why I'm kind of dragging. I forgot to take it this morning. Yeah, it helps. It turned my life around.
Really? Wow.
And I've told this story before. Before I started my firm, the Adderall was my boss hitting me and yelling at me and screaming at me to get on the phone and to do my job and keeping me motivated, right? But when I opened my own firm, there was nobody doing that. So I realized that, oh, look at the squirrel was happening way too much, and no one was stopping me from, looking at the squirrel. And I went to a psychiatrist and or psychologist and got when they said you got ridiculous ADHD, and they put me on Adderall.
What about all the naysayers on? Because when I read the symptoms, I tend to, you have these things. Well,
Okay,
maybe
so
I've
here's
got
the
that
thing.
too.
Just because you're a little hyper or because you forget stuff doesn't mean you have ADHD. Okay, I have severe ADHD. Right? It is not something that it's not funny. It's not, oh, he's forgetful. No, I mean it almost ruined my business, dude. Right? So that's what people don't seem to understand. It's like everybody thinks it's a miracle drug. I can take it, so he'll hype me up. It's got amphetamines in it. It's like, I can stay up late. I can study. And yeah, it does do that, right? But for a guy like me, and this is what pisses me off, because they will run out of medication. I won't be able to get my meds. I'll have to go call around to 7 different pharmacies to get my meds. My brother takes it. He takes it when he needs it, right? And that's kind of pisses me off, because I take 40 to 60 milligrams a day just so I can function.
For how many years? For 20 years?
No, I've been on it for 7 now.
Oh, only 7. I don't know how you ran your business.
8, 9. I got to think back, because it was 9 now. It's been 9. 2 years into me starting my business, when all of a sudden things were getting banned.
Okay,
right?
I want to go back to that woman who was banned from LinkedIn. Some people were telling her, "Oh, you just need to get a VPN to hide your IP address, and that'll be okay." I don't think that's true, is it? Because I have the best VPN. A guy, Aaron Lintz, recommended it, and I bought it. I don't think it would work that well.
LinkedIn's gonna see those things, right? They're gonna know that you're hiding behind a VPN. Now she's gonna have to change her email address, and yes, because she's using the same IP address, like if she's using her home internet and then logs in again with it, but she'd have to be so far removed and she can't connect with the same people. They have all that. Look, it's not rocket science. If they ban Thomas at prsearchinc.com, right? And then I sign back up as TJ at mac.com, and I start from the same IP address, and I start connecting with all the same people.
But you've got ExpressView, which is the best, I understand, VPN blocking your old.
Still, you're connecting with the same people. If I start a whole new thing in a VPN,
and they can see that your profile is the same as Tom's profile. They're
going to start seeing. They have. That's what we have AI. That's why we have algorithms. That's why we have bots. They see these things. And I've said this before. The reason I got one letter one time is because I was working faster than humanly possible. Once Jobin told me you can't work faster than humanly possible, you'll be fine. Ever since I stopped doing that, and I've never had a problem. Now, she could have been doing that. She could have been running a big signal hire or whatever she was using her Chrome extension to source all these numbers, and also been on LinkedIn searching. Right. So okay. I need more information. Why?
Yeah. This person also said you would have to change your ISP, your internet service provider. No?
If you have a VPN, you shouldn't have to do that. Okay. But if you don't want to get a VPN and you want to remain in the US, yes, going from Comcast to Verizon would change your ISP. So that might be
yeah, that's true. Okay, but what about this final note about this? The guy named Charles said you can recruit successfully without LinkedIn. But is that true in 2024? Donna, you have an opinion about that?
I think it depends on your industry. So in my industry, it would be extremely challenging to recruit without LinkedIn because everybody's on it. But I think it could be different for other industries.
So we didn't have LinkedIn when I was doing $400,000 and $500,000 in the 90s and the early 2000s. So it can be done. It's just harder.
Okay. But what other people, sorry, I will stick this out. Other people said, go get Seek Out or Hire Easy. That'll be replace LinkedIn.
Okay. So Zoom Info, Seek Out, Hire Ease, Signal Hire, Chatterworks, they replace AI, all of them, they grab all of their, the 99% of their information is from LinkedIn. So you'll have the majority, but the thing you don't have is real-time updates. So if Donna quits tomorrow, that's not going to get updated in Seamless or any of those for a few months.
Well, another thing you don't have is the marketing piece of yourself where you get people coming to you. So it's like a different way of working. The more I'm on LinkedIn, the more I post on LinkedIn, the more I have people from my industry reaching out to me instead of vice versa, which is really helpful.
Yeah, that's really the biggest thing. I can ruse call. I can get all the names. I can go if I have a search in Chicago. I can find all the companies in Chicago. I can pick up the phone and figure out who all the engineers are. Right? I can do that. It's just harder, right? But I can do it. I don't need LinkedIn to do that.
It's hard to figure out all the names of the engineers. Okay, then you're trying to get them from the receptionist, who you said, lots of those companies won't even have receptionist or security anymore. It's really
Which
that's
is
why
easy. That's even easier if they don't have receptionists, because you go and you start hitting zero and you bounce yourself around and you're going, oh, I needed Steve in engineering. We don't have a Steve. Oh,
Yeah, they
I gotta
don't
forget
say
his
hi.
name.
Even, in my industry, that doesn't even work anymore either, because almost everybody, industry-wide, almost everybody is on cell phones. There's not a
Remote,
direct dial
yeah.
line. It's people are remote or hybrid at best. So it's very different even from when I first started, which didn't seem that long ago.
Yeah,
And there's industry directories, there's Seek Out, there's those. I mean, you can do it. You can. It's just a little harder.
Okay. What actually? Sorry, I'm pumping that. It's an interesting. One woman said I was banned for 10 years from LinkedIn, and I got really good at Boolean searches. Okay.
That's Trisha Tamkin will tell you that. You don't need LinkedIn. You don't need Navigator.
Really?
You don't need Seek Out.
Trisha,
Yeah.
Does she endorse that? I don't need
She will
LinkedIn?
say nonstop. You do not need to pay for LinkedIn. You do not need to pay for any of the softwares like Seek Out and Zoom Info and etc. So you can do everything with Boolean.
Really? I can't. What about you? Can you? Would you get the same
I mean,
result?
if I had to, I could probably figure it out, because I've done some of those searches and they're pretty impressive. And she has, if you take her courses, there's one that she blew me away with. It was like going onto LinkedIn and again, you have to have the OG LinkedIn, right? For this one, she goes on the LinkedIn, she goes to the Auburn College, goes to the Auburn, and just brought up all the. I'm like, wow, what a great idea! She has so many different ideas that you can get from going to her courses to help you source, that you really don't need to pay for anything.
Wow.
But it's different.
Okay. I guess we're done with that. Okay. What about this? I found this interesting. This guy said the only metric a recruiter needs is how many conversations you have. He said, just measure the number of conversations you have a day, because this is all about talk, talk, talk. That's all recruiting is about. I've never seen anybody say it's always how many
Well, the other metrics are important, because if you're not being successful with getting a lot of people in conversation, you need to figure out why. So that's why you want to keep other numbers as well.
I would say that more importantly is to send out a day, right? A brand new send out a day.
That's not in your control. I mean, that's not in your control.
Pardon me?
That's your job.
That's my fucking job.
No. You've got to get someone to agree to see the person. So it's not, whereas the conversations are 100% in your control. I mean, even if someone hangs up on you, you can call that.
Okay. So if your conversations aren't leading to first-time interviews, I don't care how many conversations you have. First-time interviews is how we figure out if you're a successful recruiter. A send out a day keeps the manager away. End the story. Right? You get to send out a day in this business, and you will make 2 deals minimum a month, guaranteed. But you can't get those send outs without conversations. So I agree with that. But those conversations have to lead to send outs. You can have 100 fucking conversations. If you can't recruit anybody, what's the sense of those 100 conversations?
And if you can't get them on the phone, or you can't get them talking to you in the first place, what are you doing wrong? Is it a quantity? You're not churning enough stuff out? Is your messaging? Is it the energy you're bringing? What is it?
I can put a cold caller on the phone who could do 100 conversations, but if they can't close and get somebody to interview,
I worked with a guy like that on our team, and he was great at getting people on the phone, but he didn't know what to do with them. And so eventually he had to get paired with someone else, because he always had to hand them off, because he couldn't get anybody past the phone.
I don't want to brag. Yeah, I'll brag. I used to get less than 2 hours of phone time every single day. This is back before we had all this stuff. I used to get 2 hours of phone time every single day. And I was a top producer. We had guys getting 4 hours of phone time that couldn't do half of what I do. They were getting 4 hours of phone time. They were on that phone, conversations, talking to every engineer or every contractor, talking to clients, doing everything they can, but couldn't close anything. I'm on the phone for 2 hours and double their production. What's the difference? I have less conversations. I have way less conversations, but I'm more productive. What's that guy going to say?
And can you specify in what way your conversations were better than theirs? I think I know the answer, but do you know the answer?
I didn't waste time with people who couldn't get anywhere with them. I used a lot of rebuttals to overcome objections. I didn't take no for an answer. So I was able to turn people quicker than most people could. I didn't work on shitty job orders, right? I tested job orders really quick. There's a lot of variables in there that I don't know if they were doing or not. I'm just giving you an example that conversations don't always mean success.
Okay, let me point something out. You are chatty, so you can't say I just get straight down to business, because you are chatty, and I consider that one of your virtues. Your other one is you're peppy, okay? It feels good to talk to this guy.
High energy. Yeah,
You're
high
not-
energy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm friendly, and people do like to talk to me, but I get to the point quick. And if the candidate doesn't have the experience that I'm looking for, like I don't know how to explain it, but I'm very.
You know how to get
focused.
off the phone, right? You know
Yes,
how to.
I know how to get off the
end call.
phone. If the guy
How
says
do
I
you
don't
get
have
off?
a degree,
Okay, that's
hey,
a real
thanks,
good one. How do you get off the phone?
you hang up.
But
They're not your
right.
friends. You were not a social worker. You're not here to make friends. This is business. If you can't make me money, bye.
But how? No. You would never say that. Oh, you know what? You're not my guy. So long. You'd never say that.
I gotta go. My wife's calling. I gotta go, guys. Bye.
Okay,
There
bye.
you go. There you
Donna.
go. Right there. Right there.
I
Oh,
think he's done that to us before.
Right there. Right there, guys. Right there. I just did it. You actually thought I was leaving, didn't you?
yeah, but that's because you're talking to me. If I was a candidate and I thought this guy in the middle of a business call, somebody just made an important personal call to me just now. I saw it. The guy.
No, but if it's a bit, I get it. I know I can say to you, but if I'm on the phone, hey, man, hey, look, I gotta call you back. I got my boss just
You're
walked in.
not
Gotta go.
calling
Thanks,
him
bye.
back. Donna, do you have a reply? You raised this issue.
He's not my friend. I don't care.
No, I said he's good at
That's
it.
not
He's better
good.
at it than I
That's
am.
not
That
good.
was
That's not a
weakness
good
of
way to
mine.
get off the phone.
They're not my friends. Why?
Listen, he's not interested in whether or not they're gonna want his call later anyway, because he is determined this is not a candidate I'm gonna
they're
work
in
with.
his niche.
He's not worried
They're in
about
his
hurting their
niche. They're in
feelings.
his niche, and he does. I don't believe he.
They're never going to remember that I said I got to go. My boss walked into my office. If I call him back in 6 months, they're never going to remember that.
I don't believe. I
Agreed.
don't believe it. No.
I agree with that.
Okay. I think there's a smoother way. I just can't think of it off. Actually, for me, no, that's always been a problem. I used to ask everybody on the show, because they all used to go to these recruiting conferences. I says, once you're talking to someone, networking, once it's Gesundheit, Donna, once you're talking to people, how do you get rid of them, right? Even if they don't know how to get rid of you, you're both talking just because you don't want to be rude.
Hey,
Usually-
look, it was great talking to you. I got to get over here. I'm doing some stuff with this
Yeah,
other
no,
project. Thank
you
you.
do it without lying, because they always said, "Oh, say I got to go to the washroom." That was their standard.
I don't use washroom. I will say that I got to meet with someone else or whatever it is. Is it an art form? I don't know, but it's easy. And once you realize, again, we're not making friends. You don't have to be rude. You don't say you're boring, click, right? You just excuse yourself quickly and deal
Well,
with
like
it.
one of the things you started to say, I think that's a simple thing. Well, it's been so good to talk to you. I look forward to our next conversation. Have a great
I gotta
afternoon. There's a way to signal people that we're almost done here. Like, it's been so great to catch up with you.
And like Haley, this girl Haley that I'm placing, she loves talking to me. So I know to call her after 5 o'clock. I should call her at the barn last night, right? And I was out working on the horses and I talked to her for like 20 minutes. But I have a head thing and I'm doing stuff that doesn't bother me, right? But I know if I call her right now, I'll be on the phone with her for 20 minutes. So I won't call her during working hours unless it's important.
Okay, a few more. We'll do a few more. Okay. But just so everyone knows, I didn't learn any. I didn't learn anything, because I want someone who's so smooth they can say, "Look, it's been great talking to you. I'm going to mix with some other people," but with a tone.
Are you telling me when I just said my wife is calling, I got to go, that wasn't smooth? You both thought I was leaving. How much more fucking smoother can you get than that? Animal?
Now you're talking about
because it was the context to find it. I mean, you have no obligation to us. It's nice that you share the information.
I don't have obligation to anybody but my wife and the government to pay taxes.
That's not true. If you want to do business with people, you do have an obligation to them. I think we had that argument last time. No, I had an argument with Tim. He says people who ghost, they have no obligation to him. I said, yes, they do, to be civil, okay? And if they're not,
I kind of agree with that. Like, it takes nothing to say to someone, "Hey, I'm not interested," or whatever. I don't actually. That's one of the things I don't like. I don't like you're too chicken shit to say I'm not interested.
Well, I understand people are afraid, but if that's not the reason, that they just too afraid to say it, it's the wrong thing. I will note that I got you, Tim, and Rich in just a few seconds telling us how you guys handle handle ghosting from candidates. And I took Donna's advice, and I didn't put my picture on the front. I put how 3 recruiters handle ghosting. In a minute, I contacted, so I put it up there. I thought, this is fantastic. Not one like, even in the group.
I
Even
try
in
to
the-
like you. I've been trying to like all your videos.
No, but the thing is, it's not that. It's just, I just, if someone would have put these up for me when I had no idea, I would have thought that's fantastic, right?
Are you putting
Okay.
them on like TikTok and Shorts on YouTube? Like you doing the whole thing?
Okay, on YouTube, I have to admit, some of the ones that are discussions here get 500 views.
Yeah. So you're gonna get it. It just the algorithms. It's it is what it is.
And some of them get 11. and it's
Yeah.
really hard. It's really hard to predict which ones. One of them that got tons of them was I told Rich he should have a class for hiring managers. What are you smelling your
No, I had to yawn. I wasn't gonna be rude.
Oh, Donna just turned away and sneezed into her. Did the farmer's handkerchief? Okay, here's this. Somebody had an experiment. She said, I recently changed from doing initial screenings via phone to Teams. She's training somebody, so she wants it's easier for that trainee to participate if it's on video. So now she's using video instead of the phone to do her screenings. And she said she's seen a huge uptick in candidates who are no-shows. And this is what Jerry always said. He said, if you're on the phone, people don't have to worry what they look like or what their background looks like. It's much better. And other people say too, you don't want them looking at themselves and stuff like that. There's too many distractions and things to be afraid of when you're on video. The old phone still works best for interviews. Anybody got an opinion? I see Thomas.
I agree with that one. I hardly ever screen candidates via Zoom or Teams or whatever. I mean, I may do it later, like if I want to talk to them or or whatever. But yeah, everything's a call. Everything's a call.
Have you ever ruled somebody out after seeing them on Teams?
No.
No? Donnie got an opinion?
A phone call first. Agreed. All of our real interviews after I've screened, they're all on video though. On camera.
I just set 2 up while we were sitting here. That my clients.
Why?
I set
Why are
interviews.
they on video?
So they don't have to fly to San Antonio to meet them. That's why.
Yeah.
Why is it important to see them instead of using the phone? Donna?
Well, in our industry, everything is meeting driven with our clients. You're always on camera. So, I mean, you have to see how they're going to be on camera.
Oh, I'm making a face so I remember because I wanted to follow up with Donna about something, and I kept saying to myself, what was it? It was bugging me, okay? You said that I forget. You with regards to LinkedIn, you said if you're using somebody else's account, you're not going to be able to have people coming to you, the social inbound marketing.
Building your brand.
Okay.
Mhm.
But you were in the same business before when you were an agency recruiter. Okay. Was there a difference? Were as many people coming to you when you were only on the agency side, or now they know you're with a corporation in the business?
Yeah, there's a lot of differences. So no, they weren't. But also my boss did not like us being on LinkedIn. He didn't believe in LinkedIn. He was so old school. He only wanted us using the phone. So I did not have a good LinkedIn presence at all. So first of all, it's just not apples to apples. But it definitely helps being part of a company where they know when they're reaching out to me, I'm a lifeline to the company. I think that's very helpful.
Why should that make a difference? If I knew that you were, and you might in the future go into this niche on your own, medical communications recruiter, why would anybody not want to come to you?
It gives you credibility. Like I have instant credibility because I'm on the inside. I'm working for a medcom company. So it's just something that any other recruiter who's with an agency, they don't know how much they really know about the industry. It's unknown, but it makes me a more known quantity.
Tom, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, building your brand is very, very important.
No, but hold on a second. You've got a very strong niche. You've been in it for a long time. Do
27
you
years.
think if you were inside one of your clients, more people would come to you spontaneously? You wouldn't have to outreach to them? He
I
agreed.
think 7
He
years.
didn't know what the question was.
You had to give me a second to think about that because the way that my business works, I would say 50%, because half of what I get is people who aren't from the industry. I pull a lot of people into the industry, and those people I have to actively find them. They don't come to me.
Okay, I think that people have to know what he's saying is they've worked in one sector of the industry. They don't realize they can move to the other, but they're still in the industry, whether it's in consulting or in-house.
They never would come to me. They would never come to me because they don't realize that exists. I have to actively find them. Now, the ones that are in the industry, if they saw that I was working at one of my clients, they may come to me more now. Like, oh, he's got it in there. Like, yeah. But people who aren't in our industry, right? It's just a degree. It's just a degree in the kind of like what they do. I have to actively tell them.
If you're inside a company like Donna, you can only recruit for that company. But if like you're in a niche, you can recruit for many companies. They've got just as much reason to come to you. Although I'm going to say, I agree with Donna, they're probably they think companies are more reputable than recruiters, perhaps. That's another.
Yeah, recruiters have a horrible reputation. We're not regulated. We're not bonded. We're not insured. And any idiot with a phone can call themselves a recruiter, and it makes it bad
I hate
for
those
us.
internal recruiters too. I see on Twitter they hate their guts. Okay.
Hey,
They do, and I can say that because I get so complimented that I know there must be horrible ones out there. Like I knew that with the agency, but I didn't know that it could be that bad with internal until I start hearing from the candidates.
I don't mean to brag, but I get that so often. Like it's so nice to work with you, Tom. You're so much more professional. You return my phone calls and you.
I get horror stories. People getting yelled at,
stories.
people getting cursed at, just lied to. I mean, you name it.
Can I make a suggestion on your YouTube channel? And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Donna.
Go. Make a suggestion.
Animal. I'm asking you a question.
What's your suggestion? Go ahead. I don't know what you're talking about.
So you need to have a video that plays as soon as people come onto your show, whether they're subscribed or not. You can have an option of having either videos playing for subscribers and videos playing for non-subscribers, right? So as soon as they click on your channel, a video of you or me or Rick or whoever is playing.
I've got one.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
not for me.
do.
I just clicked on it. I'm on your page. I'm a subscriber, so no video is playing. And I'll open it right now as a non-subscriber and see what happens. But let's see, file.
I got a welcome video. It's me talking about cold calls.
Okay, so is that okay? Okay, you do, but only for non-subscribers.
Animal here. About a week ago.
Okay, I don't want to play that for this show.
It's a 5-year-old video. You need to.
You know what? That's a good video. That was the best video in that series. The guy was giving everybody.
5-year-old video. You need to switch out your videos every couple 6 months, and you need to have one for subscribers and one for non-subscribers.
Okay.
You'll get more. I'm telling you, you're going to get more people if you do that.
I'll do it because you can see I listen to you guys. I've changed no faces. I took Donna's great advice that had no results. No results, but I like it. Donna, I like it. I like it where it says in huge letters the Pareto principle. The Pareto principle in recruiting. Did you see that one I posted yesterday? I thought it was
the 80-20 rule.
Yeah, but it's you and Rich talking about how bad everybody is.
Yeah, it's more like that 99-1 rule.
And you threw a good one at him. You said football players aren't like that, and he came back with a real. He says, "Yeah, college players."
No, and that was a good point. And the Pareto principle, especially in our industry, and many industries where it's the easier it is to enter, the more the Pareto principle is going to apply. The easier it is to enter, the more the Pareto principle is going to apply.
Okay,
that would be the best way to say it.
What about forced ranking, which is a very controversial mode of retention and this stuff, where you always fire the bottom 10%. No matter how great everybody is, you always get rid of every year the bottom 10% of your employees. I think Netflix does that, don't they?
I don't know. I don't think that's a good thing because your guy in the bottom 10% could have an issue that is beyond his control, right? His biggest client went bankrupt, right? His wife left him, and his kids died in a car wreck. I'm
It's
not going to just
salespeople, and it's not just salespeople, but my point is that
In
the
general.
Pareto principle is still working there, even though everybody is excellent and above par. Okay, that's it's still at work. There's always
Well,
going to
there-
be gradations of people in
But,
an organization.
back to my original point, in the NFL, can you show me the Pareto principle in the NFL itself?
There probably are better players on you. You know better than me. Better players.
20% though, 80-20 rule. That's a Pareto principle, right?
Well, the way the Jordan Peterson said, there's 20% really good doing their job, 30% mediocre, and 50% useless.
So you're telling me that 50% of the NFL is useless?
I guess that's not okay.
50% of the NBA? The NBA is the most stringent place. Every single one of those players is a integral part of that team because they only have a dozen players or something on a team. There's no way that works there. No way.
Okay. I think we're near the end of the show. Do you guys have anything that you'd like to talk about? Donna, anything exciting happen that you want to share?
Everything was exciting. But I don't, yeah, no.
Just
I
being
do
alive after
think
the hurricane.
I think your YouTube channel needs serious help. But other than that, no.
You think my YouTube channel needs serious help and yours doesn't?
No.
Donna Prima Donna, the medical communications recruiter extraordinaire. You can find her on LinkedIn. Her last name is Terrell. 2 R's, 2 L's, 2 E's, right?
Yep, the E's just aren't together, but yes.
Okay, well, okay. And Tommy, the great Pistachio Elascio, Palermo Rhodes. It's pissing me
Palermo
off
Rhodes
right now.
and the
Thanks
recruiting
for coming. It was great. It was a lot of fun. We'll talk to you later. Take care. You guys
Bye.
cheered me
Always
up.
a pleasure,
Bye-bye.
guys. Always a pleasure.
Bye.